Yeah. There's already 11 people.
Oh, 17, buddy.
Whoa. Wowzers.
Are our mics hot? Are we live? Are we live with everybody right now? We got Amy, Brandy.
G is in the house.
It just says J.
What? No, it said G.
It says
now it says J.
It says J. Oh,
No,
now it says G. That's weird.
That's two people.
Oh, J and G are
Yeah.
here. Becca, Brandy, Sarah.
Cat.
Do you guys remember that? I'm not, see, I forget. I'm like way older than everybody except for you.
Fucking guy.
Hi,
Huh?
Chuck.
He's got 10 years on me. He refuses to admit it. It's weird.
He's got 10 on me.
You know?
He
It's
looks
weird.
really good for his age, though.
You do good.
Yeah.
Justin's in the house.
What's going on, Justin?
Hi, Julian. Hi, Victor.
What was that show called? It was The Magic Mirror or something like that.
Scary movie?
I see Brian and Migs and Natalie and G. It was, I don't know. Never mind.
He lost everybody.
I know. I did.
Like, what?
Everybody got lost there.
It was a little TV show for kids when I was a kid.
Oh, that's why.
Becca Cassidy.
Welcome, everybody.
Hi,
welcome,
guys.
welcome.
Happy Tuesday.
Great Tuesday.
Check. Mike.
Great
Check. 1, 2. Check.
Tuesday.
We got Mig's Whiskey in the house tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all don't know Migs, go give him a follow because he's an amazing musician.
Thank you, bro.
Singer, songwriter, playboy.
You're gonna get me in trouble. Nah.
Yeah, with who?
Can you put the on there? Yeah, that
The
guy.
what?
I always
Oh,
like
I
that
know
on
me.
there.
Alicia.
Well, that
Carly.
helps you see.
All the names.
Yeah, I know.
The Hopeaholics are here.
Carly.
Chuck Zamzow.
Chuck, it's
Zamzo.
freezing in Texas, too. Jonathan's over there trying to make sure pipes aren't bursting.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Damn.
11 degrees this morning.
9.
Wow.
9?
Wow.
9.
9 degrees.
Wow.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from the Bay Area,
Bay Area.
so Cali girl.
But she's living
But
in
I
Texas.
live in Texas.
Did a
God
couple-
bless
Couple
Texas.
years in the mental
All
institution.
my
Everything's big.
exes
Everything is
living
big.
in Texas.
Yeah.
That's why I hang my. I probably
And you
should
can
be
carry.
because
No, I don't know the song.
Oh,
that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
I have no idea about that. That's all I know, the song.
Which part?
All my exes live in Texas.
That's why
I
I hang my hat in Tennessee.
that's why they don't sing.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to
This
get.
guy's
I was trying to
smoking up a
get.
storm.
I was
With
try-
drinking coffee and smoking, just like we were talking about earlier.
Nice. What's
He's
it?
drinking
Yeah,
coffee.
yeah,
and smoking,
yeah,
just
yeah,
smoking.
yeah.
I was just saying how much I would feel like doing that right now, but it's been 10 years for me
He's hitting it. He's vaping.
since I quit.
All about that vape life. Shane,
Yeah.
Shane forced me to quit vaping
I
because
nagged
know,
him to death.
at like 48 years old, it was just not attractive
Yeah.
for me anymore. I
Yeah,
guess.
Natalie's got
Smell
another
like
8 years.
strawberries and stuff
much-
like
Yeah,
that.
I was.
Joke.
I
won't throw you under the bus. Don't worry.
I vaped the cookie butter.
Oh, cookie butter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It was
smoke
good.
clouds like you couldn't even see them.
Yeah.
The whole room was like a puff of smoke. You didn't know if he was behind the smoke either. Sometimes the smoke would clear and he'd be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Effects to walk in.
like a
Yeah.
rule here that you're not allowed to like vape in the
Yeah.
office, and like I was the boss and I
Yeah.
broke that rule all the time.
Every day. Every day.
I caught Carly vaping in her office one time on camera.
Really? That's hilarious.
There
She's
goes your
she's
anonymity.
That's hilarious.
All right, guys, welcome to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting, man. I'm excited to get this thing going.
Yeah.
How about you,
Yeah, really excited.
Natalie?
Always excited.
Oh, please. You are. You are.
I am.
You're always. She is. She's always on point. That's what's so nice. Yeah.
Thanks, Shane. The guys actually have been giving me some compliments. Normally they drag
You
me
deserve
hard
the
all day.
compliments. You've been really putting up with our shit lately. You know
Thank
what I
you.
mean? So
I have 3 older brothers, so dealing with these two is like,
it's like nothing.
Yeah. Walk in the park.
yeah.
And the thing is we would be nowhere near where we're at if it wasn't for her.
Wow.
Whoa, that's a freaking. You guys,
Wow.
you heard it first.
Wow.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, like as soon as
Wow.
Shane, it's like here. I just want
Crazy.
to. I want to let you guys know because like when Shane and I are the ones on the live and it's just Shane and I.
yeah.
Like yeah, we'll get up to like 150, 200 people watching, and
For a
then all of a
minute.
sudden, like, yeah, for like 2 minutes, and then they
Goes
just
to
drop
20.
out. Next thing you know, we're down to like 30.
Yeah.
She held steady at
109.
109
Yeah,
today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you
Guys,
know.
you guys,
wonder what
Yeah.
it is.
they're gassing me up today, so they must be,
No.
ready to ask for a big ass.
Or you're fired.
Oh,
Or that.
yeah.
One of the two, bro.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's
let's
true.
get this party started. We got
Okay, yeah, there
we
we
got
go.
Mig's Whiskey in the
I
house
love
tonight.
this. I love this vibe right
You're
now.
like
Let's do
such
it.
a little hater.
Yeah. So just a reminder that the Recover Out Loud is a movement.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's a big movement.
It's not a
Huge.
program.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not a program.
This will not keep you sober.
Well, yeah, hanging out with. hanging
Help
out
me
with-
walk
this
to something.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just a reminder to do what you do on a daily basis to
Yeah.
stay sober. Whether you work a 12-step program or whatever you do.
This is an add-on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cherry on top.
Yeah.
Anyways, with no further ado,
Migs.
oh, one last reminder. I just want to remind everybody that this is streamed live on
Yeah.
YouTube,
Everyone can
obviously
see it.
Zoom and
Forever.
Instagram.
ever.
Keep it clean, obviously, right?
No, we
No.
don't.
you
do it.
can
You
you
can
can
do-
cuss. We put the
You do
rated R
you.
version on our
Yeah.
YouTube so we don't get
All right.
monetized. But
Yeah.
with no further ado,
I always
man,
just say just in case.
yeah,
Mhm.
just in case.
Just-
We got Mig's Whiskey in the
Yeah,
house
baby.
tonight. He's got an amazing voice. Even his speaking voice is
Yeah, it is.
deep. It sounds good in the
Yeah,
headphones.
it really does.
Yeah, right?
I could fall asleep. I
He
might
is-
close
he
my eyes.
You know
Oh,
what?
He's late
If
night.
you're
no,
if
he's
you're
late night radio.
Late
You're
night radio.
in the morning.
yeah, I'm
like-
not an annoying talk show host.
He's
in the
very
in the
late
morning.
night
Yeah.
radio. He's like 2 to
Yep.
6. You know what I mean? On your way home. Hey.
So if your music doesn't work out, you
Late
can
night
always
radio.
do late night radio and meditation tapes.
yeah.
Oh.
meditation
Voiceovers.
bro,
Yeah, just nice meditation tapes.
Oh,
Shane
yeah.
and I
That's
will
good.
go to
I
sleep
love
to your voice
meditation.
at
would-
night.
I would. That sounds bad.
What?
I'm just saying.
What I just said?
Yeah, it just doesn't.
It's
sound
fine.
Good. Marin, I really love you.
All right, Migs, you're up. 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
All right, so my name's Mig Whiskey. I'm a singer-songwriter from Southern California, alcoholic addict, sinner, recovering from heathenism. You know, that's the way I like to break it. I don't know. I guess it starts at a young age. Just programming. It's kind of like Think and Grow Rich. He talks about a hypnotic rhythm, and I definitely picked up some rhythms just from my environment, and they weren't good. Real quick, Pops was in my life, took off. Single mother, worked 2-3 jobs, to pay the bills. Stepfather that I thought was my dad for years and find out he wasn't. Going through some closet photos, and then it's like a picture of this dude with long hair.
Jeez.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
like I'm having my first son, and and I'm like, oh shit, that's my name. And
Whoa.
it's all. Man, I always knew there was something wrong, but never knew really what it was. So the best thing that ever happened to me was that I became a drug user, and I went to these like support groups, and eventually told me about like this thing that I have, and well, let me not skip too much. I mean, I don't want to bore you with the war stories. I mean, I've been to jail. I've done crimes. I was a career criminal for a long time. I was a musician, sex, drugs, rock and roll. First time I got busted for selling drugs, I was in middle school. So that instead of sending me to juvenile hall, they sent me to this program called Bienvenidos in East LA. And it was all like these veteranos that were doing, they were doing counseling. They were like drug and alcohol counselors. So it was like my first introduction to like recovery. And they would put us in rooms. Like the parents were in one room, the boys were in one room, and the females were in another. And it was all just a bunch of broken youth. And I don't know, it was kind of like one of those movies, where like the counselor really cares, and then you gotta like feel it. And I got clean from drugs at the time when I considered drugs, which alcohol didn't fall into that list. And went back out to the streets, but I never really worked on the real problem. So I was still dealing drugs and committing crimes. As I didn't touch drugs, just sold them. I'm not doing anything wrong. Played music. Eventually, just my drinking got more heavy and more heavy and more heavy, and eventually 08, 09, got locked up, went to jail. Best thing that happened too, little did I know, I got introduced to 2 good books and started reading that, which were a part of 2 fellowships, and got out, and again didn't really deal with the real problem, so went back to the lifestyle. And that's like it was a repetitive thing. It was like I would get clean and sober, but I just couldn't keep it. I wasn't really dealing with the real problem. It went on like that for years. 2014, my sister's diagnosed with cancer. Didn't know how serious it was, and then I'm living at City of Hope for 25 days while she's in the ICU fighting for her life. And the doctor's like, tells my mom, like, you know how serious it was? And she's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, I remember like it was me and her making the decisions for like what was going to happen to my sister. And then she's like, I tell her, I'm like, why didn't you tell me how serious it was? And she's like, for what? So you can make it about yourself? You always did. You always do. And that's when it hit me. And my sister was fighting for her life. She had a organ donor transplant, but it affected her liver, so she died like almost like an alcoholic would, like jaundice, like yellow.
Yep.
Eventually took her, and I was sober the whole time I lived in that hospital. I like slept in the hallway, and I saw a lot of families, just like fathers lose their daughters, from little kids to older people, just, and it was, I don't know, I left that hospital like something was definitely changed in my mind. I was like, man, all these people fighting for their lives as I throw mine away. And I want to tell you that that's like the big changing moment, but it wasn't. Then we buried my sister, and like for 3 years I used her as an excuse to like just throw my life away. And I was just like on this like self-destructive, suicidal, but not like where I'm gonna like off myself, just like using everything like a dumpster again. And eventually I'm dropping the first demo, which was Blackbird's Redemption. And all these songs subconsciously were always talking about getting clean, but I just couldn't get it. And I'm dropping this demo, and I'm in the studio, which I pretty much am paying with drug money and trading drugs for the studio time. The guy that was recording us eventually died of an OD from fentanyl. And I would get to my house like around 6 a.m. and then walk my son to the bus stop and then put him on the bus, and then he would leave. And I was like yacked out of my mind, like just all the blow and alcohol I was putting into my system. And I think it was Father's Day one day, and I went out and did what I usually do, which is dumpster, just coke, alcohol. I think the homie had crack, so I was like, man, they still have that stuff? And he's like, yeah, let's do a little bit of that. I'm like, wow, what else? Let's do it. Hit up like 2-3 strip clubs, a couple bars, and the rest is pretty much a blur. I don't really remember it, but somehow, some way I got home and I wrote the date, because I would like write on this dresser. And I don't know, I woke up the next morning and I would do my routine that I usually would always do, which is wake up, take a piss.
Yeah, do a line.
Wash my face, do a key shot in each nostril, and go into the kitchen, grab a bourbon, 3 ice, shake it, get it nice and sweaty, and then take a drink and start my day. But I don't know, something about this day where I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I guess that was the journey where it started, 2017. 5 months in to abstinence, I'm at McDonald's with my son, and I look back and he's ordering a Happy Meal. He's like, Dad, I want a Happy Meal. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm just like thinking, like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna kill myself. Like, I'm sober, miserable. And after that, didn't know what to do because I'm like, obviously sobriety wasn't it. It wasn't. Oh, like sobriety's not the solution to whatever the hell I'm dealing with. And I went home and I really thought about offing myself, but then I was like, I'm just gonna transfer all this pain to this kid. I'm like, I grew up Catholic, so they always said you would go to hell anyways if you killed yourself. All this stuff was just running through my head, and I just like went to Siri or Google, and I was like, yo, natural ways to battle with depression. And Mel Robbins came on, and she's talked about exercise, and she's like, work out for 30 minutes, get out of the house, and something will change, right? She has this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing that she does, and I was like, all right, I'll do that. So November 7th, I decided to exercise, and I would exercise in the pad to not make no excuse. I bought these little dumbbells and push up, those little push
Bars,
up
yeah.
bars,
Mm-hmm.
and got a gym membership. But I was like, if you don't go to the gym, you're gonna work out at the pad. And then there was a track in the back of the school across the street from my house, and I would run on the track, and I did that consistently for a year.
Wow.
And that's what I would say really started changing my mind. Like, I started showing up to something consistently. I started changing my mind about something. I was like, damn, I'm seeing this. I started seeing like my self-esteem go up, and I started writing again. I read the book, The War of Art, not The Art of War, The War of Art, which is another book. Art of War is a book too, but War of Art. And he talked about just waking up and setting a time to write. So after my daily devotionals and my daily reading, I would write for 30 minutes, hour, or something like that. And I did that consistently. And then it just kept going, and it kept getting better and better. And the music started taking off. I started getting shows, and I just didn't only have abstinence. I had some form of recovery. And by definition, recovery is to heal and to find. Like, I've recovered my sweater. I found my sweater. Or I've recovered from my accident. I've healed. So to find or heal, I found that there was ways I can heal outside of just abstaining. And if there's anything I give anybody whenever I talk to them, I hope they understand the difference between sobriety and recovery. Sobriety is just abstaining from a substance. And I stopped so many times. Honestly, when my son was born in 2011, I abstained for 6 or 8 months, but that was abstaining. That was dry. But I wanted that recovery, and that was working for me. So I did that consistently, and then I did that for 3 years. Ran every day, exercised every day, wrote music, played shows, no excuses. Sometimes I would play up to 3 shows a day. Like, I just had the energy, when you're feeling good, you look good, got all that energy. And 2020, in December 25th, I got in a motorcycle accident. And then that was another moment where I got tested again, and I broke my ankle, broke my arms, and now I didn't have the exercise. And that's like the most thing that was keeping me sane. And I got it back into a dark place. And but at least I had the tools now to know, abstain, exercise, work with others, don't be selfish. And man, I tried to do whatever I could while I could. I was in bed, I was watching podcasts, and I remember telling my son and my wife, I was like, I'm gonna be on that podcast when I'm gonna get off this. And all that stuff happened, all that laws of attraction stuff. But I would say 2.5 years too. The best book I ever got my hands on was given to me by a friend that's a part of a support group, and it's called Drop the Rock. And it's based on steps 6 and 7. And I owe that man my life, because that book is the book. that I could say changed my life. Like if there's one book that I would say like, oh, you wanna know what your problem really is, this is what it is. And that's why like whenever people say like I got a problem with drugs and alcohol, I'm like, you still don't know. You're still at that phase of your life where you think that's the problem. And the reason why I say that is because that was never really my problem. I wasn't addicted to alcohol and drugs. I was addicted to escaping my reality. And if you had a life like mine, not that mine was really bad, because trust me, I lived in Mexico for a while when I got left there by my mother because I was messing up on this side of the States. It wasn't the worst life, but it was the worst that I was experiencing because I could only get my own experience. So, growing up broke, mother's not home, dad left, stepdad don't love you, he don't really care about you. You're looking for love in all the wrong places. All the fools in the neighborhood are all into bad things. Obviously I want to escape my reality. And that was really the problem. And I didn't realize that till I read that book, that I was like, it would be delusional for me to think that because I'm sober, everything's going to get better. And it would be delusional for me to think, too, that I went to jail just because I was an alcoholic or a drug user. There was a lot of other character defects I had that could have got me locked up. I was locked up with a lot of guys that didn't even touch drugs, you know? Like, just alone being insecure about not having money and hating authority and not wanting to go to a job and trying to make fast money because I love instant gratification could got me locked up. So that's when I started realizing that was the real problem. So today, that's what I really focus on. I don't focus on the drinking and the drugging. I'm around cocaine all the time. I'm a musician. These motherfuckers bring in the shows all the time. You go down to Hollywood, I'm playing the Viper Room. I mean, someone's doing something, not to put the Viper Room on blast like that, but it's Hollywood, it's the scene, it's the music, it's not only Hollywood, it's like music alone. It's like they're drinking, they're drugging, it's like heathenism at its core. And but today I know that it's not that's really the problem. I know it's when I'm not checking myself. So I have this malady and it's inside. I'm sick inside. So that's why I like to say my name is Miggs. I'm a sinner recovering from heathenism, because I'm like, what you got? And I don't mean drugs. I mean women. Yeah. Women has been, and I'm fucking married, dude. I've like, in sobriety, I've done fucked up things. You know what I mean? Like that I'm like not proud of, but not ashamed of, because I speak about them now. Like I'm like Eminem in 8 Mile.
Yeah.
I'd rather diss on myself so you don't have nothing to diss on me. Like, yeah, I've cheated on my wife. I've almost messed up my relationships with a lot of people still. Like, not because you're sober means you're gonna be all good. And that's what I've been learning. And it's been it's like 3,000 and something days, almost 7 years since I touched cocaine, and I'm freaking happy. I am. I do have a life beyond my wildest dreams right now, and to tell you the truth, like, I didn't really dream this up because my dreams were way different back then. I don't know. I owe everybody in history that's given me some kind of tool that they picked up on their road. And that's why I like what you guys do here, right? Because it's not only one way.
Yeah.
There's like, I picked up from stoicism, David Goggins' book. I really love his. I mean, obviously Mel Robbins came up on Google, and then I looked her up, and then a bunch of other people. And that's the cool thing about the algorithm. Once like you start looking this stuff up, they all start coming up. You guys will start coming up. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking for podcasts about sobriety or recovery or stuff like that. Bam. And I think this is like the best tool. It just depends how you use it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's like a gun. I mean, the gun don't kill people. People kill people. You know what I mean? And guns can protect people. So, not to get all into like politics and stuff, but but I'm just saying, like, I'm just grateful. Like, Drop the Rock, the 12-step stuff, Christianity, Judaism, Muslim, fucking Farrakhan too. Like, a lot of people think he's like super controversial. I studied him for a while. I studied cults for a while. I was like so desperate. 2017 to 2020, I was so hungry. I read over 50 fucking books on the subject. I just wanted to know everything. And it's not that I want to know everything to like put myself on some pedestal or something. I just really wanted to get fixed because I knew there was stuff wrong with me. And there's still stuff wrong with me. You know, I still sometimes think all like, damn, bro, you are not fixed. You know?
Oh, yeah.
You know, but
We say the same thing about Shane.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks,
Hey,
buddy.
but by the grace of God,
Right?
you know,
Yeah.
I'm still here. And
Right.
and I used to be super like militant and disciplined at the beginning too, but then like those falls too humbled me to like when brothers would fall, I would be there for them, you know, understanding that it's not about the number. It's about like how much you've grown. Like I wish I had a marker and paper, but like I realized something when in this journey, I would like get sober, which was like the circle. And then I would relapse, and then there's nothing in the circle, so I just felt empty. And then I would get depressed, and I would keep on using. But what I realized one thing, and this was one of my last relapses, is that I had the circle, but then in those years of recovering, I put stuff in the circle. So when the circle disappeared, there was still little things, and then they started disappearing little by little. But at least I could like stop it before all of it was gone again till it was empty. It looks better on piece of paper.
No, we get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I was like, so it's like, I might have lost the number, but I didn't lose the recovery.
Yeah.
I didn't lose the knowledge. So like now I'm just get back on it. And like, I really mean that when I tell that to somebody. They're like, oh, fuck, I messed up. I'm like, get back on it. It's like, and I just try to keep you on. If I ever work with anybody, try to keep you on enough for you to build some stuff where like getting back on it just feels good. And you're like, yeah, you're right. It's not about the number, but you might want to keep that number though,
Yeah.
and not keep going back out because then there's something obviously wrong. Because like it's not the addiction as much as you're trying to escape your reality. So you're obviously building a reality you're trying to escape still. And that's like, I guess the goal for me is like, I'm trying to live in a reality I don't want to escape anymore.
I like that.
That's it. That's my life. I'm like building a reality I don't want to escape. I'm a fucking singer-songwriter today. Like my music's heard all over the world. I got like people from Argentina,
Yeah.
Germany, Russia hitting me up saying that my story and my songs have changed their lives. Like this is what I wanted when I was 12 years old. Like I finally found what I was looking for. I found my identity and my purpose in this. It's insane. And like, I don't know what it's going to be for you, but it's going to happen. And when it happens and it's amazing. And I'm not comparing myself to nobody. Like by doing a thorough inventory and looking at myself, I learned that like I was doing a lot of those stuff for like, because of fear, insecurities. I wanted validation from all the wrong people. I wanted to move up the ranks of these organizations or groups that were not in any way of service to me or to humanity. And today I am a part of something, and it's my music. I'll share this real quick. Like I had a family member come out and bring one of my cousins, and she knows how fucking much I was fucked up, but she knew I was the right person to talk to my cousin. And that's what I am today. I'm an asset, not a liability. Today, my mom won't say that stuff for us. Like, I can't tell you something because you'll make it about yourself. I just got tired of being a fucking loser. And that's really what it was. It was like seeing my son on that bus as I'm yacked out of my mind. And I just know that I'm not the best dad I could be. As I complained about how my dad was bad. There was a lot of that. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be for anybody watching this, but sobriety, I'm going to say this, and sobriety sucks. Recovery's where it's at. Because I've abstained. I mean, I know a lot of people that have never even touched drugs, and their lives are more freaking miserable than most drug users I know. And I'm gonna add to a quote that Christopher says in Sopranos: "There is no there is no chemical solution for a spiritual problem. I'm going to add to that. There's no materialistic solution for a spiritual problem. And there's no romantic solution for a spiritual problem. Today, I work a spiritual program, and spirituality, like the definition Buddha likes to use, is the release of suffering. I walk into the suffering to come out better, molded in the dark, like Bane says.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, so my routine consists of information that's positive in the morning, prayer. I do right now. I'm not running no more. I'm trying to get back into the running, but I'm doing a deck. So it's a deck of cards. So back in the county and people that done prison, you know, there's symbols. You make the routine based on the symbols, and the numbers let you know how much you got to do. And do a deck or two, sometimes 3. Just push yourself, and it's I guess life's just about pushing myself, and I'm only in competition with myself and my past. So I try not to compare myself to nobody. I know it's hard because you got these phones and you go on Instagram and you got your homeboy, he just went on some trip, and you're thinking like, God damn, I'm working so hard. And there was a time too where I was like, man, all these fools getting trophies and I'm doing all this work and shit. But it's amazing. And like I said, I owe it to all these groups that are about being of service, like the podcasts that I listen to, all of them that I've listened to, the books that I've read, the groups that are out there helping people, feeding the homeless and all this. Like I owe it to all them people that were there for me when no one was, and I finally found a home. And thank God that we're in 2024. I mean, I found my solution on my phone. And it's just if you're willing. So I'm just grateful and thankful of this life that I have today. And I don't know how much more time I have, but that's pretty much like if I leave telling anybody anything, there's a difference between sobriety and recovery. Sobriety's, I don't do that. Recovery's actually finding and healing and figuring out why you did that in the first place, because there is no nutritional value to freaking alcohol, or there's no really positive to drugs except for the fact that it's euphoric, but it's not really going to change anything. And today I don't have to escape my reality, because my reality is amazing. I rode in here on my Harley. I'm here with some great people, being of service to some great people out in the world. And I wouldn't be here if I would have stayed in that mentality I had 8 years ago. So I don't know. I'm just, what I thought was the worst things in my life were the best things in my life. From my sister passing away, from my dad leaving, from jail, all these things made the man you see today. And today I'm the man that I needed at one point. So, and like I said, I owe it to everybody. And even the 12-steppers, like I love something that Bill W. wrote in The Grapevine in 1950s, because I'm a big reader going back. He says, if you think this program is just about abstaining, you missed the whole point. This program, the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, or all those, was never about just abstaining. It was about a whole change of life. And I found that in my own way. So some people find it in AA, NA. Some of us find it through fitness. I'm just glad to see it in somebody. Because when you see it, you know it. It's like that one thing, like the difference between believing and knowing. I don't just believe in God. I know God's real. And I could see him in people's eyes when they say, like, I found this one thing. I'm like, well, keep it, bro, because I know that feeling. And today, that's why I came out here, because I just want to share that feeling with everybody.
Amazing.
Thanks, bro.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, good time.
Thanks for
So
coming
good.
in. He held steady at like 90 people on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does better than Shane and I. That's unbelievable.
Well, that's 'cause
We're experienced at this
Yeah,
shit
well,
too,
he's-
man.
I'm
It's
not
like
Look at his
Surprised.
skin, his pretty smile. We don't, we
It's the
don't
voice
got the skin of the
I don't know the
spotlight.
boys.
and the voice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Mig's
boys.
Whiskey.
Yeah, hey, Mig's
Yeah,
Whiskey,
I just wanted. Hey, I want to thank you guys for letting me do this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
coming
thanks for
in,
coming
man.
in.
We love it. We
There was-
love it.
Yeah, your story was awesome. There's so many gems.
And I read the book, The War of
War.
Art,
Yeah.
not The Art of War.
What is it?
I wonder if I read it after you came and did the podcast the first time, because I might have downloaded the book after that, because it was
Because
within
you're
the
all
last,
audiobooks, right?
Yeah, I'm all audiobooks. It was within the last 12 months that I read that.
I love that book.
Yeah.
As an artist, for sure, because the guy's from the military, and I think it was Army or something.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but it's helped me so much. And yeah, you said some. I always tell people, because like people are like, how did you write that song? I'm like, I didn't. I was just there to catch the ball. Like, I don't know. Probably there's artists out there that really believe they write it, but it's like I think it just comes to you, and you just got to be there to catch it.
Yeah.
Like.
Well,
that-
there's probably
that
people
line.
that write it, and then their spiritual experiences.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
pretty much everything I do in my life ends up being some type of spiritual experience that, you know, I've received because I've been open to receive it, and those are, you know, those are gifts of recovery. You
For
know?
sure.
And I like that you say that, because, you know, there's abstinence, there's people that just, you know, and Alcoholics Anonymous, they call them the dry drunk, right?
Yeah.
The dry drunk, miserable. I didn't get clean and sober, man, to be miserable.
No.
I was miserable getting loaded.
Yeah.
And at least my misery was like taken over by the drugs, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I didn't get sober to be miserable. You know, I believe that progress equals happiness. So if you
For sure.
continue to progress in life, you have a little bit of joy.
Yeah, getting those.
Hope.
Well, it's like
Little
getting
bit
those
of joy,
like you
little bit of
said, with
hope.
The fitness, you're like, it
Yeah.
gives you self-esteem because you're showing up for yourself because you set a goal. So you're showing up for, like, even though you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna show up and do this.
Shane,
And
your
you're
phone.
building trust with yourself. You're
Yeah.
building trust to like believe that your word is
Yes.
true.
What you say,
Yeah.
and you do.
Yeah, and then like I think that's what was happening. Like I don't know all the science behind it, but I know it was happening. Like another thing that I forgot to share, like when I was running every day, it was anywhere from 2 miles to 8 miles or whatever, and it was just the thing that would help me finish it was like, if you finish this, you get to see your sister on the other side. Like sometimes you got to play these
For
games
sure.
with your own
Yeah.
mind. You know, like people do it when they're gonna do
Yes.
reps. Like one more rep,
Totally.
and it just makes your esteem feel better. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're starting to see the science in the muscle too. That's like an
Everything.
antidepressant.
And the chemical release in your brain is fitness is not just a aesthetic thing.
And that's
Yeah,
a
no,
big.
we're big proponents of fitness,
Fitness.
mindset, motivational type transformational books. Love David. I've read all of David
Yeah.
Goggins' books. Love all of them. Jocko.
Jocko, yeah, extreme ownership.
Good stuff, man. It's like I just read Cameron Haynes' book.
Yep.
And
my
his
boy.
is like mostly about bow hunting and how he became one of the top bow hunters in the world. But you take all the stories that he's talking
Yeah.
about, you can apply that to
Yeah. Real life.
every area of your life.
Well, one thing that I learned from all these books is business or fitness or all these how you build something. It's the same system. And I think that's why like Kobe was so good in basketball and in business, and that's why they let him sit in those tables, because once a leader is a leader, he's a leader because he knows the characteristics. And once he knows the characteristics, he could read the characteristics in all the people because he knows them, because he sees them, because he has to do them, because you already know it's discipline, consistency, and all these things. And that's why you always know you're going to pick a winning team, because you're a winner.
And it's all the same in all those like facets that you just talked about. Everything, all the top dogs that we're mentioning, they take self accountability. You
Yeah.
have to go within yourself.
Yeah.
you
and,
got to
like,
go inside.
Yes.
Another good book, Tim Grover, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. He was the trainer. Dwayne Wade. really good book, man. It's called Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Yeah, by Tim Grover. Anyways, let's open it up, man. I love hearing from everybody that's on Zoom. Thank you guys so much for showing up.
Yep.
We got 41 participants in the house tonight.
baby.
How about that, Shane?
How about that?
Unbelievable. I think that's our biggest
Shane
audience.
will just so you guys know, Shane will tell you guys or say he might not tell you guys, but he'll say it
Tomorrow.
somewhere
Tomorrow. There was
on
60,
Instagram that there was
65,
80 people
80.
in the Zoom.
Yeah, that's just
So
what I do.
whenever Shane says a number,
Cut it in half.
cut it in half, and that's the real number.
I forecast.
So are you saying Shane's just a liar?
No, I put it out there.
Nicole, you are up.
Because
Your hand
we were
is
at 20,
raised.
I went 40. Here we are at 40.
There we go.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi guys, Nicole, alcoholic addict. I am today on day 38 of recovery.
Nice.
Wow, good for you.
Nice.
Thank you. I've done sobriety several times. I've done 75 hard twice. I've taken 5 months off. I've taken little breaks, but never have I had recovery. And these have been the best 38 days of my life.
Wow.
I've been going to meetings every day, working my steps, doing what I need to do. For the last 20 years, I've worked on self-development and read every book you guys just named off and hundreds
Yeah.
more. Thinking I could do it all and do the fitness and not quit drinking and doing drugs. And I was life coaching and health coaching people. And I was a fucking fraud for a long time. And I always knew there was going to come a day that I was going to have to give it up. I come from a family of drug addict alcoholics. Half my family's in recovery or in a relapse. I grew up in AA. I was going to Alateen at 6 years old. And I just wasn't ready. And so 38 days ago, after a terrible, terrible bottom, I rolled over in my bed and did an online meeting. 2 days later, when I could get out, I started going in person. And I have now found my people. And, you know, Migs, you said recovering yourself, recovering something. I feel like I'm recovering my soul. And there's something called the Michelangelo effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he was asked, how did you create David? Like, how did you do it? And he's like, I didn't do it. He was there. He was in the marble. All I had to do was chip away.
Yep.
And so that's been something I've loved, a thought that I've loved, that I felt like I was chipping away. And now with recovery, I feel like I have a fucking sledgehammer. Like, I feel like the bigger pieces to reveal who I really am can come off. So, I mean, everything you said resonated with me. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks for this podcast. I'm really glad you guys did this tonight because I didn't go to a meeting today. So
Well, we're
this
here.
worked out perfectly.
We're here every Tuesday night, 6 p.m.
Put us in
Yeah.
your calendar.
Pacific
Yeah.
Standard Time. Join us.
Mm-hmm.
We love having
I'm going to
you.
start joining. Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend Miguel was on your show,
Nice.
Self-Made.
Yeah,
Oh, you know
Miguel
Miguel,
Aguilar.
huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So that's how I got turned on to you guys. And I just love it. So thanks again.
Nice, thank you.
Amazing.
And
Thank you so
congratulations
much.
on 38 days. That's
Yeah,
great.
that's huge.
Yeah. Victor.
What is going on, Victor?
New Mexico's in the house, right?
Yep. New Mexico.
New Mexico,
New Mexico.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
not old Mexico.
What's up, guys? Victor, recovering addict. Coming up on a year here
Nice.
pretty.
Yeah, baby.
Soon. Yeah, I ain't trying to front on anything. So 11 months actually today.
Nice.
But thanks, man, for your share. That was fire or gas, like they say out there in Cali. You know, like you said about Bane and being molded in the darkness. You know,
Mhm.
I wouldn't trade any of the trials and tribulations that I've gone through. You know, good, bad, ugly. I wouldn't trade it for anything because I know, you know, just like you said, it's part of what's molded me and shaped me to make me who I am today, you know. So I wouldn't trade anything for that. I'm just glad that I got to where I needed to be at the right time, you know, and it wasn't on my time. It was on, you know, my creator's time. And then, you know, like the whole spirituality thing, I think spirituality is just huge. You know, religion is, you know, is good, you know, I don't knock anybody for their religious beliefs at all. But I'm just finding those nuggets any and everywhere, whether it's in different religions, different books. You could, like you guys were saying, the process is all the same. I could relate stuff that I read about military leaders to help me in my job. I could read stuff in recovery to help me with my job, and vice versa. So it's crazy how it all just connects together.
Hmm.
And I like the way you said, recovery is better than sobriety, because I feel like I'm taking back, recovering, and getting where I need to be. It's an ongoing process, and I'm not gonna rush it. One day at a time.
Hmm.
And just thank you guys for everything. And then Chad, I'm gonna hit you up on your DM on the gram. I got that picture for you, so I
Oh,
need to know where
nice.
to mail it to.
Nice. Yeah, I'll shoot you the address.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks,
That's all I got.
Victor.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Shane.
Yeah, it's amazing. He said that how it all connects, but the only reason why it connects is because he's open and he's sober. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't connect if you're not open. Your connection to God is gone, and you're blind. You can't connect those dots.
I mean, I feel like what really resonates too is I loved what you said about sobriety and recovery, just because I've been in the program and I've been so-called, I guess, dry drunk and ready to blow my brains out, like literally ready to say goodnight. And I'm like, how is this happening? And I'm sober, but
Yeah.
it's because I'm not doing the work.
Yeah.
Like the thing is like you have to be willing to do the footwork, and it sometimes is not pretty, but
Fucking hard.
it's so worth it,
Yeah,
because
so
if you
worth it.
don't, it's misery.
Misery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to remind everybody, man, honest to God, and when you start doing it, man, walking through your pain
Yeah.
is easier than sitting in your pain.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But sometimes we get stuck in that pain, man, and that misery, and it looks so hard to get out.
Hopeless.
Hopeless.
Hopeless. Helpless.
You gotta
hopeless.
have hope, though. That's why we're the Hopeaholics, man.
Well,
We
it's like stories like yours, because it's one of my sponsors. She actually turns 2 today, but there's another one, and she has 5 years now, and she can use any excuse in the book to use because of the way that she was brought up. Compare her to the way that I brought up. I have nothing to complain
Yeah.
about. My mom came over from Mexico for a better life for me and my brothers.
Yeah.
Like, why am I using?
Yeah.
So we all suffer from the same thing. Doesn't matter where we come from. That's the problem.
Yeah.
No,
No,
that's
I
why
agree.
we all relate.
I agree, and they say it takes a village to raise a child, but I think it takes a village to raise an alcoholic or an addict too, because just like this guy right here, Miggs, he reached out first with exercise with that lady online. I mean,
Yeah.
you reached out, you brought people into your life to help you. You didn't do this alone.
No.
No, we can't
we
do it
can't
alone.
do
can't
it
do it
alone.
We
alone.
We
can't.
can't
So it
do
takes
it
a
alone.
village to
Yeah.
save the alcoholic or addict.
I just wanted to really quick, because we do have a lot of hands raised.
Yeah, we
and,
do.
which is really exciting.
Yeah.
And we never ever, just so you guys know, we never leave this meeting until all hands are down. So, but with that being said, we do have a 3-minute,
Oh,
30-second rule.
3-minute time limit, and when we hit the 3-minute mark, you will hear Emily. You will hear.
doesn't have it.
I'll do it.
Where's the button? Yeah,
Yeah, like the little clapping hands.
the clap. There's a clapping hand one over there.
5 minutes later.
Yeah, never mind. You'll just hear Shane go.
Eh.
And that just means wrap it up. Don't take
Yeah.
offense to it.
No,
It just means
no,
wrap it
don't
up.
take offense. I'll go, hey.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll be gentle. I'll be gentle.
you're up. Who's up?
Robert.
Roberto. Hello, Roberto.
Hi guys, how y'all doing?
Hey,
Good.
Robert.
Hey, Robert.
I just want to say that was amazing. You were incredible. Your talk was just insane. You took so many of the words, I think, out of all of our mouths, which is, I know we all have a commonality. We have a lot of commonalities, but you took the words out of, especially with the difference between sobriety and recovery.
Mhm.
I've gone sober a ton of times in my life. This is the first time in my life I've been in recovery. I've gone sober, and I think in my sobriety in the past, I was just trying to prove everybody wrong. that I couldn't be sober. In recovery, it was finally doing it for myself and knowing that I had to do this for myself. Um, I just loved it. You blew me away. You blew me, and not many Californians do, by the way.
Point taken.
I also want to say that you touched on it really quickly, but also, man, whenever you're in recovery, being of service to other people, God, man, you really realize how much you've missed out in your life of being only in service to yourself. You know, you really feel, you really realize how much you missed out on the help you're able to give other people when you are doing the right thing for yourself, you know? So I want to make this quick before I get the buzzer. Thank you all very much. Again,
No,
I
thank
love
you.
your Tuesday meetings, man. They're great.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Robert.
Robert.
And Robert, we say the same thing about Canadians. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Your time's up, Chad. Your time's up. Chad, you're done.
see what I'm saying? Chuck Zamzow.
Chuck.
Chuck, where you at?
He's driving.
You driving, Chuck?
Yeah, I'm home now. Hold on. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Where
Chuck,
were
that's so funny.
Chuck? Where
Chuck-
were you?
Chuck just came out of
Where-
nowhere.
Chuck.
Huh?
No, he came from somewhere.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Came from, a little something on your chin there, Chuck.
Little magician
A
act.
little something on your chin there, buddy.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's
I
con-
want to say that was a really good share. That was some real talk. And, man, how he talked about Bill W. at the end there in the Grapevine, because I pick those up when I go to the meetings all the time. I pick them up, start reading them, and pick up some gems and some stories out of there. The only thing, we're talking about mindset, we're talking about focus, we're talking about all the ingredients that what makes, for me, where I'm at today. You know, because I am grateful I woke up instead of coming to today. I say that all the time. The gratitude, I heard a lot of gratitude out of that talk too. I heard a lot of things that were just so positive that, you know, there's some things I'm going through right now. I have a friend of mine passed away suddenly this past week. I don't like going to wakes. I don't like going to funerals. I hate them. He was in and out of the rooms, and every time that me and him talked, he'd always ask me, and I'm not going to go very long on this, but he always asked me, he's like, well, how the hell do you do it? I'm like, well, I just do it. I don't know how else to explain, man. If you want to quit the weed, quit the weed. If you want to quit the booze, and quit the boozing. If you want to have a better life, come down to the hall, man. We can talk. And he would come in, we would talk, and he didn't like a lot of the things I had to say, but I was being bluntly honest with him. And he's gone. So I don't know what happened. It was a sudden death. I just truly hate him, but I hate death in general is what I'm saying. But it only takes two to have a meeting.
Yeah.
That's something that I was taught me from the beginning. And it's something today, like I was of service yesterday. Shared a 12 and 12 real quick. Shared, and me and a gentleman just shot the breeze for the whole hour. We were the only two showing up because the weather here was wicked cold, but just a lot of great stuff said tonight. And I'm very short for words, and I don't talk a lot. And but when you get me into a meeting, I like to talk sometimes. But just the things that I heard today, man, just that mindset. Go to the gym. I mean, I went to the gym twice today, and it's that mindset that I want to get this. I don't know how to explain it, but I see everybody around the table that I know you guys are real big into fitness and stuff, and it's really cool. And I don't know, man. That's all I got. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks, Chuck.
Christina.
Christina.
Hi, Christina.
Hi, my name's Christina. I'm a recovering addict. I'm in my second month of recovery.
Yeah,
Nice.
good job, Christina.
Thank you. This is the first time I'm actually recovering also. I've gotten sober many times before. I went to residential, and right now I'm in outpatient because I couldn't handle residential. But I got out of a really bad domestic violence relationship of almost 4 years, and I have 4 kids. And, there's so many times where I had to stay clean because of, I had 2 CPS cases, and, they kept telling me you need to get clean. And I was just like, I can't do it, and one day, like, my ex hit me really bad, and I left, and I was homeless with my kids. And CPS said, "You're lucky that you left because we would have taken your kids." So, right then and there, I knew I just had to leave. Like, as much as it hurt me, I feel like I had to put all my feelings aside because my kids are what's more important. So, yeah, I'm in a sober living home now, and I feel like it's so much more better now than it was before being, in recovery. I feel like everything good is happening. All the good things are happening, and I'm not isolated from the world because, my ex was really controlling and didn't let me talk to nobody, like none of my friends or my family. So, I'm starting to connect with everybody again, and it feels so much better. And I'm going to school again, and my kids are so much happier, and I just feel like, everything's coming together. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you for this meeting. I really needed it.
Amazing.
Wow.
Thank you.
Where are the kids now? Christina?
My kids are here with me in the sober living home.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, we're doing so much better now, and I'm about to get housing, also like permanent housing. So soon we're gonna have our own place.
Well, good for you.
Awesome.
Good for you. That is so awesome. Well, I want to tell you something. We work with a nonprofit, and we actually donate sometimes to single parents with kids. So there's $500. Just it's a donation from the nonprofit. We want to give it to you. I know it's after Christmas. Sorry we're late, but just for you and the kids, for toys or whatever you need. If you want to go into the chat and send us your address, we'll get a Venmo to you immediately.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, of
I
course.
really appreciate
Are you kidding?
it.
No, it's not me. It's this nonprofit. You just happen to fit. You're a single parent with 4 kids in recovery. Go figure.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
Of course. Yeah, man. That's good stuff. Good for you. Proud of you. Happy for you, man.
Thank you so much.
Please, we want to see you next Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, we're gonna fucking worry. Yes. Okay. We're worriers here. We're worriers. So show up next Tuesday so we can be okay. Otherwise, I'm already sweating. Damn. Okay. Thanks, Christina.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Paulie.
See, Paulie looks like a Canadian. Look at he's by the fireplace. Do you have a pipe? A smoking pipe?
No, I gave that up a while ago.
See, I knew you used to have one though. So all he needs is a smoking pipe. He's got his toque on. It's probably -40 right out his window.
I'm not in Canada, but it's close. I'm in Wisconsin.
Nice. I
Oh,
knew it.
basically Canada.
Basically Canada. How the Badgers doing, baby? How are the Badgers?
The Badgers are badass,
Yeah,
man.
they
We're
are.
doing well. Basketball season.
Yeah.
Woo!
Nice.
Watch out, man. And so how
you.
about them Packers, baby?
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
damn.
All right. Well, we got you next week with San Francisco, but all right. I just want to honor and thank. Hey, first of all, everybody early in recovery, good for you, man. Give yourselves a big hand for suiting up and showing up for yourself. And the speaker, thank you so much for sharing your story. Just want to know what kind of Harley you ride in on today. I had to ride my snowmobile, not my Harley today.
Street Bob Softail, 2019.
Where you go, man. I'm a heritage man myself. Way to go. But you said one thing that really struck, I think, was a big point and really helped me in my recovery. You made the point, you set up your life today so that you don't even want to use because your life is so good. And I think early in my recovery, my challenges, by the way, I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic addict, Paulie from Wisconsin. And for years I was running away from the drugs and alcohol. And then once I realized I could run to a better life and I focused on where I was going and what I could have and how great that could be and the blessings I was going to get from that. It changed everything. So thanks for bringing up that point. Thanks for sharing your story. And you guys, thanks for having this podcast and this meeting because you're making a difference in this world. Peace out, man.
Thanks, Polly. Carrie Ann.
Scroll down.
Scroll down.
Huh?
Do you want me to go or do you want me to wait for somebody
go
else?
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Don't listen to Shane. He
Good.
doesn't know.
So I just wanted to say thank you guys first of all for doing this. This is the coolest thing. And Migs, oh my gosh. I cried like almost the whole time that you talked. My situation's just a little bit different. I have never been in any kind of active addiction, but my husband was, and we lost him to an overdose in 2020. And I feel like I know more about him now, and I know more about all the things that he struggled with now than I ever did. And I've known him since we were 11 and 12. And still, listening to everything you just said just completely just messes my head up so much, because I don't think that I ever understood any of that. And we've got 3 kids together. They're all 21, 19, and 18, and I'm actively trying to just have this open dialogue with them about this stuff all the time, because now they're, kids that had a dad that died. He went to prison. And actually what happened was he swung into addiction over and over. And I hate to ever call him any kind of an addict, like one specific kind of addiction, because just like what you said, he was just addicted to completely escaping who he was and what his reality was. And oh my God, you and him have such similar backgrounds. I mean, just he found out who his real dad is the same exact way. And he believed his stepdad was his dad his whole life, and just things like that. And nonstop, the first felony charge, I think he was like 12, something like that. And we were together all of our high school, part of our middle school, all of our high school years, got married right out of high school, and spent all the rest of our lives together. And he would have really great times of sobriety, and then he would swing down. And I swear to God, like, I wish I knew any of this now that I know now back then, because I was a piece of shit wife, piece of shit freaking friend to him, piece of shit everything. And I want so bad to walk forward and help anybody that I can, and I don't know how. So that's what part of why I'm here. The other part is to hear other people that are having success in changing any of these things in their life. That gives me so much hope. And my kids aren't struggling with these things now, but they might in the future. And how am I going to be a piece of shit to them too? Or am I going to learn from all of this and learn from all the things that he went through and be a good person in their life to help them? Even if I lose them like we lost him, how can I just make this better for them? How can I understand? I always thought it's black and white, Mike. That was his name, Mike. Black and white. You got in trouble. Now you're out of it. You have all this stuff to look forward to. So keep your ass sober, and we will move back to that area, and everything will be fine. You'll redo this with your kids, redo the relationship. You'll figure things out. We're forgiving. We love you. And none of that shit was enough. None of that was enough. Nothing that I said was enough. It was that escape in him that I didn't understand any of that. I just thought it's black and white. You're good. You're going to be fine. And I hate that. And I love hearing everybody just knock this out of the fucking park. I mean, it's amazing. And I don't want him. He did some really terrible things that put him in prison. He paid somebody to have me killed, but that was the addiction. That was the just out of his mind on meth and just losing his shit that put him there. But when he got out into community corrections or whatever it was called, we were there, And the last text he sent me was about 6 weeks before he died from an overdose. And he said, I want to do good, but I don't. And that, I didn't understand that. I had no idea. I just blinded the shit out of myself. And I was like, he's good. He's fine. And so now I love listening to everything that you said, because it's all on point with the things that I need to learn. I have to learn these things, because as good and sober and wonderful and sweethearted and innocent my kids are, you know, in their ages that they are, I'm grateful that they got to this point and not did any of the shit that we did when we were kids. But that's not, who's to say that they're not going to go forward and start reeling from all the things that they lived through with their dad over the last, you know, 7 or 8 years. So I just wanted to tell you guys thank you for letting me show up to this, and thank you for your message, Migs. I just
thank you.
That was amazing. That's I needed to be here tonight for sure.
I'll tell you what though. I forgot what I was. No, I'm joking. I didn't forget. I'll tell you what though. Here's the thing. You say to yourself you were a piece of shit then, but let's put it in the context what you were going through, what you were dealing with. We can't jump back there and all of a sudden put the new you there. And even if we did,
that's true.
And even if we did, just hypothetically, let's say we did put the new you there, we magically put you back there, you'd still be that same, what you consider bitch or shitty person because of the situation that you're possibly in. We don't know. So it's all in context. You know, as long as today you're moving forward, that's what we're looking for.
And you obviously are, because I think it's incredibly brave for you to come on and be here to not only learn, but also give yourself some grace, because for sure it is not easy to deal with an addict or an alcoholic at all, because we are not nice when we are heavily in our addiction. So kudos to you, because you're learning about the disease and how it can, you know, take you out, and you're going to be able to talk to your kids and have that open dialogue. So
yeah,
you're a very brave woman.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah,
huge.
Sarah, you're up.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
My brain is like going in 5 million different places, so I'm going to try and focus. First of all, thank you for all the previous shares. All incredible. And the main, is this like a speaker meeting, I guess? I cried the entire time. I'm on like day 2, I guess, in Nashville of,
nice.
I think we got like almost 8 inches of snow. So I can't leave my house. And I have 4 children. I think I've made it. Oh, I forgot. I did drink November 19th, but that's not an issue right now. I was thinking earlier today about how I had my 2 oldest daughters when I was 18 and 19, and one of the places I fucked up was for some reason when I got away from their father, I started dating someone else, and I let them call him dad. I don't know what, I was young and stupid, but now my 18-year-old is addicted to fentanyl, and I've spent the past year, like, you know, focusing on her, getting her in and out of rehabs, to the point where, you know, I went crazy, or I just, you know, neglected myself. But I was just going over, it'll pop in your head, like, maybe it's because I did this. But I did think about, like, today, the letting them call him dad. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. But anyway, I haven't been to a meeting in like 2 months, and I've just been fucking scrolling Instagram for the past 2 days since it started snowing, and I love y'all's Instagram handle, like just the word hope. So y'all went live earlier, and I clicked it, and I didn't know y'all do meetings. And so I saw, you know, y'all were talking about the meeting, and I'm here, and I didn't even realize like how fucking miserable I've been the past 2 months. To the woman talking about getting away from her abusive ex, oh, I don't want to crosstalk, but it only gets so much better. It gets so much better. I'm so excited for you. I did that about 2 years ago, and then a year ago, I moved into this house, and I made the mistake of letting him co-sign because he kind of ruined my credit and stuff. But so in November, I realized we're having to move out of this house. anyway, so I've just been working like nonstop, like fucking door dashing. I have a regular job, but like I've been having to come up with money like ASAP. And so like my recovery stuff, like I didn't realize it until tonight when I got into this meeting. I just started bawling. So I don't know if any of this made sense, and I probably had more to say. I wrote notes, but like I'm not going to read them out loud. But y'all are amazing. I'm so grateful that this is here because I can't leave my house, and it feels good to be around other, or sort of be around other people. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Larissa, are you just wiping your eyes?
Larissa, take us home.
I relate to just so much that everybody's been saying. Larissa, I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic. I actually was turned on to you guys from my sober sister, Rachel, who came to Cali last week. I actually, met with her after, she did the podcast with you guys. And then another, girl from our recovery group invited me to this meeting tonight. And, I'm so grateful that I signed in because so many things that I've heard, tonight, specifically, Migs, I believe, the main speaker tonight, you were talking about how, the worst things that happen to you in active addiction, losing family or any of the other traumatic things that you experienced, how now you can look back on that in hindsight as, blessings in your life. And I have so many of those similar things that I didn't look at as blessings until, recently. I was going to say I too overdosed in 2020, and for the gal that was sharing about that, give yourself some grace, because when I came back from my overdose, I mean, going in, I wasn't thinking about my family. I wasn't thinking about my mother. I wasn't thinking about anything, and it took me till May or March of this year for me to get it together. And I've been coming to the room since I was 17. I'm 34 now, so it's taken me 17 years to get it. But I always knew that I had a place to go. And another thing that kind of made me, want to share was the gal that spoke about, the imposter syndrome or being a phony. And I'm a 4.0 master's graduate clinical counselor in school and family-based counseling. And I was shooting meth and heroin, 10 months ago, and have struggled with addiction since middle school. And it was self-inflicted karma. A lot of the things that I put myself through and I put my family through, and, addiction is just such a selfish disease. But I try now to remember that, so is recovery. Recovery also has to be, selfish in that sense of, I have to put my recovery first, and some people don't understand that. But I'm really grateful that I logged in. I'm grateful to know that you guys have this meeting on Tuesday nights. And I heard so much just in the time that I've been in here. And I'm just, we're supposed to be here in this moment together. Yeah. I really strongly feel that. And so I just appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody that shared. And thanks for letting me share.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn, Shane.
Amazing.
What? I mean, again, another blow up.
What
incredible.
No, everyone share. I mean, you sparked it off. Like, look, your words obviously hit everybody exactly the same and inspired everyone.
Unbelievable.
This was one of our bigger meetings too. Super stoked for every single person that showed up tonight. As Shane said, it was 82 people. I think 41 was the real number. But we did have we had steady 80 on Instagram while Migs was sharing. I went ahead and posted your share on the platform. I just wanted to remind everybody the reason why the Hopeaholics exist, the reason why Natalie, Shane, and I are here
fighting.
We're fighting the fentanyl crisis. We are fighting like it's nobody's business. On 9/11 of 2022, my daughter called me screaming at 7:30 a.m. She had just found the love of her life. I call him my son-in-law. She found him dead from fentanyl. I've worked in drug and alcohol treatment my whole life. I'm a recovering addict, alcoholic, and we recover out loud now, man, and we're going after this fentanyl crisis. It's a bigger epidemic than COVID than they ever thought COVID was, man. And the shit is killing people. It's currently 300 people every single day that are dying. That's a jumbo jet, crashing every single day. And it's not just addicts that are dying. It's young people that are trying drugs for the first time.
Yeah, and all those broken hearts out there.
Yeah, man. We have countless mothers and fathers that follow us on Instagram. We get DMs every single day of another person who is burying a family member every day. And, we're not going to stand for it. Yeah. So, grab everybody, tell them about the Hopeaholics, because this is a mission. This is a movement. And, we're not going to stop. Like, literally, we will not stop until every single person has heard our voice, until change has been made. And if you don't like the Hopeaholics and you want us off the air, then let's eradicate fentanyl, because I will hang up my hat,
shut her down,
and shut down the podcast.
Shut her down
as soon as fentanyl is off the streets.
Yeah, and everyone's happy.
Yeah. So,
but awesome meeting.
Awesome meeting, guys. We're gonna pray out.
Yeah,
and we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up, because if you really break it down, we are the lucky ones. We showed up tonight, and that's what it's all about, giving each other a little glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where it starts, and then you do the footwork.
Oh, guys, really quick, we forgot to do our reel today, but we have 4 boxes of Hopeaholics hoodies out there that are we got our swag, so we'll get that rolling.
Stay tuned till tomorrow.
Stay tuned till tomorrow. We totally dropped the ball on that
Wow,
today.
I can't believe.
Oh, wait, you know what? I have one last thing, because it is really important in the sense of I lived in so much shame and guilt for having to work a 12-step program and live this like double life that I had to do all this extra work to try to be a normie. But now, obviously spreading awareness about fentanyl, but it's also breaking the stigma. There's no shame in getting help. It's shame if you stay and remain the same in your pain. And that's what I love about everybody showing up, sharing, because we're all working on ourselves to be better for your significant others, your kids, your business partners, etc. So I love that.
All right, Shane, you want to start us?
God.
Grant me the serenity
to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. See you guys next week.
See you next
Thanks,
Tuesday.
guys.